If someone tells you that you are messy, show them these clips of me just moving in, having slept 2 nights here with this mess, being overwhelmed as fuck, and finally coming to the decision to put my life in order. I am a messy person. You know, when there's so much happening around your space that you end up procrastinating until it looks even worse. And then you want to procrastinate more because you are so overwhelmed that all you feel is that you are being construed into this bowl of mess. The state of my mental health shows up in my everyday habits and environment. So you can tell that I'm not doing so well mentally. And this mess is just like a friction of what's going on inside this head. But if the mess keeps adding up, my mental health gets worse. Different side of the same coin sort of situation anymore. So today is the day when I realized that I need to clean this up because I just cannot live like this. I want to clean this place up so it looks livable. It looks clean and just homey, and yeah. I would say that I've kind of mastered the art of cleaning, but I just need to get into it. So that's the first step. You just gotta get into it and make sure that it's a fun process. So the first thing that I'm going to do is find myself a podcast to listen to. Podcasts or song playlists, whatever rocks your boat, are the best way to do this because it just gives you a nice vibe. You can dance to it. But in my case, whenever I put on some like boppy music, what happens is that I dance instead of doing anything. So podcasts are the way to go for me. It's what I need to get me out of a rut. So yeah, and also it's nice to listen to some people just talking random shit. And usually I like to listen to something, or I would recommend listening to something that is not that deep, that you don't need to think about a lot. So sometimes just like random influencer podcasts, which I enjoy as well, are things that I listen to. And yes, I'm gonna listen to one of my like favorite YouTubers' podcasts. I don't really watch their content anymore because I feel like I've outgrown that phase of my life. But that's why podcasts are really good, because they talk about their lives more and it's more long form content and it feels more humane and less edited. So yeah, but whatever works for you, that's what you should do. Making cleaning fun is the best way to move ahead with whatever you need to do. And my room is such a representation of who I really am. So cleaning up all this mess and just taking things one by one can be a very meditative endeavor. But listening to my favorite podcast has given me such a nice feeling of just doing things as I like and moving with the flow. And it took me more than I realized that it would actually take me, because I had to basically clean up my whole clothing drawers and shelves. And so it was quite a lot of taking everything out and then putting them back and organizing them once again.
I reorganized my whole closet. So the way that my clothes have been put previously were changed up, and I had to do everything from the beginning because I also brought in some new clothes from home. But I always like to go through the clothes that I have, and it gives me this huge amount of gratitude because I can just go through everything that I have and realize that I have so much. And sometimes when I'm in this lack mindset of, I don't have this, I don't have that, I can, go through and just actually see that I have a lot of things. And maybe the reason why everything is in shambles is because of this many stuff that I have. But I now can sort of understand and see that it's okay to have things, but it's also important to realize how much you actually have. Going through and adding my new jewelry collection, and then also reorganizing my jewelry one by one and just going through the motions is, again, so therapeutic because you get to make this place your own, but while you do it, you also go through a lot of realization of how great it is that you are you. And on my end, cleaning up and decorating is such a nice feeling. Not only because I get to do this, but once again, I can just be grateful for what I have and the fact that this is my living space, and the fact that I have this, granted, it's not only my work, but it's also help from others around me and my family mostly. But it's just something that I dreamt of since I was a kid. But yeah, as you could see, I had a little accident of my clothes falling over because I put them on a chair, quotes, and other heavy stuff, thinking that it would just stay put. But it had a mind of its own. But yeah, I dreamt of living alone in an apartment by myself since I was a kid. I was always better off being this independent. And it always gave me so much power to know that I don't need to rely on anyone. My upbringing was similar as well, so it just makes sense to be this way.
So one round of clothes is in the washing machine, and I've got like two more rounds, but I don't think it's going to be, I don't have enough space for all three of it, but I think I have space for two rounds of washing for today. So that's why I was like, I need to do this now before I go out. I need to buy some everyday cleaning products and stuff like this, so I'm gonna do that and also buy some food for me.
I figured that the best way to continue cleaning up my apartment would be to section it off into multiple days. So on the next day, I cleaned out my bathroom, with it my bathtub, which really needed cleaning, and cleaned off the dust of everything else in the bathroom and organized everything else. And then I moved on to the finishing touches that my bedroom required, which was just to clean off the dust and also vacuum up the place. But yes, I was having fun throughout it all and tried to make it as enjoyable possible. But you know that when it comes to anything that you need to do in life, there also has to be a certain amount of seriosity. You need to understand the importance of doing things such as cleaning and tidying up your apartment. So, a few tips that help me stay in this space of cleaning up around me, although I don't usually have an issue with it. What is the most beneficial, I realized, is that after doing anything in my apartment, like exercising or cooking or just doing stuff, basically, what happens is I would forget about putting them into their places or cleaning the dishes afterwards. But whenever I would clean them or do them right after I did that thing, it just helped me immensely. On day 3, I continued to clean my kitchen, which was the worst one to clean, not because it's small, it's because even though it's small, there's so much to do. And most of the time when I cook, it gets very dirty. So it's kind of a feeling that I don't like. It's kind of disgusting, I must say. So a few tips that I would recommend anyone is to not take cleaning so seriously. Just go with the flow and remember and understand that this is something that you must do as a part of your everyday human life. Cleaning can also be sort of a spiritual and more intensive thing that you do, because of the fact that if you look at it as a way to cleanse not only the energy around you, but anything that is stuck, it can be a healing way to let go of other things in your life. And of course, once you get to that point where it's become a routine, it's going to be so much more easier. So just keep doing it until it becomes a natural part of your routine. So yes, I can say that after 3 days, I'm finally done deep cleaning my home. Of course, there are still some things that need to be finished here and there. Ultimately, what I can say now is that my space is at a place where I don't feel like I'm constricted. I don't feel like the environment is annoying me. And it just feels nice to be in a safe space that also looks clean and cared for, organized, everything. It's such a nice feeling. I've noticed my moods shifting since I've cleaned my place. I noticed me doing more routine-ish stuff because I know where things are now and I just know where to grab when I need something. And so if it really brings peace of mind and tranquility into my life. There is more of me in this place now, and I seem to care for it a lot more than I used to.
even last night when I came home after like a night out, I managed to do things in a different way that I used to. I put my clothes back to where they belong, or if some of them needed to be put in the laundry, I would put them in the laundry. Take my makeup off and just throw everything away. Don't leave it there, because I have this really bad habit of just throwing shit everywhere, and then the next day you wake up and it looks horrible, but then you are too lazy to do it once again. And so it just keeps on piling up, and at the end, it's just gonna be so painful to do it. How I leave my stuff and where I leave my stuff, and just ask myself, why is it so difficult to put these things back in their places at that moment? Why do I need to wait more? Why do I need to procrastinate once again? So yeah, I still have some issues with washing the dishes. For some reason, I hate washing them. I don't know what is it. Maybe it grosses me out, but yeah. But yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have more situations like this when the place will be a shithole. But for now, I am proud of myself, and I am proud of the fact that I managed to pull this off in 3 days and still like do other things as well, wake up really late and stuff like this. So yeah, I still managed to do it even with all the other things that were going on in my life, which is just props to me. And it just shows that if I can do it, you can do it as well. So yeah, clean your spaces. Be happy. Bye bye.